get tough, but that will never be enough.
The
Friend
friend
zone,
zone,
but
but
in
in
a
a
good
good
way.
way.
And welcome to the Friend Zone, but in a good way. We are your virtual friend group that will surely never make you feel left out. In this podcast, we will be talking mainly about friendship. But first, let me introduce myself and the others. I'm Lara. I'm Pat.
I'm Kurt.
I'm Joshua.
I'm Sam.
First of all, a short background about us is that we are a friend group that started from many situations, like me and Sam.
We were seatmates, and the others were introduced to us by our previous common friends.
So, guys, we all have different definitions of friendship. And I want to ask you all, what do you think is the meaning of friendship? Well, personally, for me, friendship is the bond between two people. The people that have grown fond of each other. What about you guys?
Not only it is a bond between two people, but it can be also bond between a group of friends, wherein every time that we run into problems, we would share it with each other and we will fix it. And every time that we're gonna have conflict, we're gonna fix it right away.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
the bond is really strong.
For me, basically, it's just another meaning for a sibling from another family because you guys are like my second family to me.
Really? Oh, so sweet.
How about for
For
you?
me, I think friendship is all about giving trust to that one certain family because you treat them as your whole name. And I feel like treating them more than a family is giving them your full trust. How about you, Pat? How about?
So for me, friendship is someone you can rely on and someone who would support you. And additionally, for me, friendship is
Like it's all about laughter, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
laughter.
yeah. We all laugh out.
Someone you can
Yeah,
laugh when
yeah.
you feel down.
Like us, right? We're bonding right now and we're having like a lot of fun. Okay, so do you guys think that male and female friendship could work out?
Personally, yes. As you can see in our friend group, it's a mix of females and males. I just think there are certain boundaries between them.
Yes, and to be honest, I also have this friend,
Oh my gosh,
a
same.
girl.
Yeah,
And
same.
yes,
Me too. You know.
yes, I have a female friend that since grade 3 and our friendship remains really strong and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yes, I agree. Like just like what you said, I also have my female friend whom I really am close to, and I consider her as one of my truly and bestest friend of all the time. And just like what Sam said, there are certain boundaries that male and female friendship should have. How about you two?
For me personally, I think that male and female friendship works. Because based on my experience, I have a few male friends that up until now we still hang out from time to time. And I think that boundaries is a huge factor when it comes to having friendships with the opposite gender.
And of course, I agree with you all. I also have a few male friends of when I was during my childhood, and until now we do talk. But
Yeah.
I think it
That's
could work
nice.
I
out
agree.
as long as you have an understanding of your situation.
And like
Yeah.
let's all be real. Male and female friendship is normal. And we
Yes.
should not make
A big
label.
deal about it.
Yes.
Or make any negative assumptions.
Make it
Yeah.
fun.
We
Yeah.
shouldn't put a stigma on it.
Yes, exactly, girl.
On point,
Period.
on point.
Period.
So one common question asked among people is, how do you know when to cut off your friends? Well, for me, I know to cut that I need to cut off my friends when there are negativity into it, and if your friends are not being loyal to you, and there are things that are off about them. How about you guys?
Yeah, that's the same for me because for a past friendship that I had, they weren't happy about my achievements. They were negative
There are
about it.
actually a lot of cases like that. Like,
So that's the point when you cut them off. They're killing your vibe and
Yeah.
everything.
and we cannot actually avoid that those kinds of
Mm,
friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the common reason is like toxic and continuous negativity.
yes.
Lara?
I guess to know when to cut off your friends is when you start to dis- disagree on things more often. I think that could really like ruin the whole like your whole vibe as a friend group. And I think that's basically one of the common things that could be to misunderstanding.
I mean, it's normal to have differences in a friend group. But when you realize that those differences is you're not on the same page anymore.
How about you, Kurt?
For me, you all said what needs to be said, so I congratulate you all. Thank you.
Ooh,
Thank
wow,
you.
thank
Thank you. Yeah,
you.
I know,
Thank
right?
you.
Yes.
Okay. How do you feel about friendship breakups?
Well, for me, they're very, very unfortunate because it means that you've fallen out. That for some reason your friendship just doesn't work anymore. And I think since I'm a very nostalgic person, I think it makes me feel very melancholic, and I tend to look back
Wow.
on the memories.
Girls. But the sad thing about friendship breakup is that it comes to an end eventually, and it's something that you look back on. And I think that's the sad part, where sometimes memory could be something you just look by as you grow old and look back on how far you've become.
Do you have anyone to look back on?
I'll say I'm grateful to them for what happened, but I think I wouldn't be back with them. You know what I mean, right, Chris?
Yes, I agree.
And in the long run, you realize that it's a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
And I also believe that not all friendship breakups are a good thing, but it can be also you can also do that for your own mental health because some of them are really draining, or like some of them are not are not good for you. Like for example, if I had this friend way back in grade 10, and she actually backstabbed,
Oh, that's pretty bad.
and she said things
Does
to
it
me.
hurt you?
It doesn't because
Meaning your back?
Nice joke, nice joke, nice joke.
he won. Okay, and it doesn't actually hurt, to be honest, because we haven't been friends for long. Yeah.
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 And I think not all friendship breakup are like formals. It's just sometimes you outgrow them. And I think that's also a breakup. Right, guys? Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes you just ignore each other so suddenly without knowing what was the real reason why your friendship ended.
That's the sad part, yeah.
Like, does friendship breakup is does it for you negative, or like is it sometimes positive for you guys?
It depends on the friend.
Positive, because if they're not a good influence, then it's gonna be good for you.
Or how about if they want to start a career um in the other country and they have to leave you?
That's okay. I just think the closure matters on how they do it, because long distance friendship could work as long as they're willing to. So yeah, their eagerness determines that. Yeah.
It is common for friend groups to have conflicts or misunderstandings. So, how do you resolve conflicts or misunderstandings?
Well, personally, for me, in my experience, in resolving conflicts or misunderstanding, I think communication is the key because you can express your feelings towards each other and you can understand each other's parts and how you go about it.
Yeah, that's right. Because how would you know what's the problem if you don't talk about it? And if one of them wants to answer or solve that, how could you do it without talking? Yeah.
Yeah, like especially when their pride is that high, you can just really talk to them properly.
Yeah. And in order to communicate, you have to lower your pride.
Yes.
And,
Yes, I
and
agree.
for us to be able to communicate, we need comprehension.
Hmm.
Yes.
Yes, well said, well said, well said.
So it's common for huge friend groups to have quarrels and misunderstandings. And I think it is important that it shouldn't be one-sided because
Yes.
it's true that big friend groups are hard to maintain because there are circumstances that the other would side of the other without knowing the side of the other. So it's a result to a bigger problem. So that's why communication is important. It's not just understanding only one person, but everyone.
Everyone in the friend group should have an open mind and walang kampihan between them. I think that's one of the major things that happen in a big friend group, having kampihans from one another just because of a misunderstanding instead of solving it out.
That's why there are circumstances that friend groups gets divided. And it takes
Yes.
a while before
Patch it up, yeah.
Okay, so next, I want to ask you guys, can friends become family and why?
Of course.
Yes.
Like
yes.
Agree 100%.
like us, an
Yeah,
example.
technically we are a complete family.
Of
Yes, we have the
course.
We have the
Yeah.
mother, the
Like the
titas.
moderator and
Yes.
everything, of course. You have the kid.
I trust you guys enough to be my family.
Yeah, you're
Oh,
so
that's so
sweet.
cute.
Oh my gosh. I might cry
That's so
like hoo,
adorable.
mga 10 centimeters. I don't know. Yeah,
That's
but
so cute.
yeah, I might cry like that. You
Like,
know.
You guys are like a
Really,
family.
Sam?
Yes, you guys are like family
wow.
to us.
Like how family?
Like sobrang family. Like 101%.
Not 102.
No, just 101.
I love you guys like infinity times more than my dog
Wow.
because he passed away.
Oh, that took a dark
Darker.
turn.
Whoa.
I think,
So,
yeah.
yeah. Do you
Yeah.
think friendship can turn into family?
Yes. I think it also depends on how close you are with the friend. Because eventually, your friend will become your comfort zone.
Oh my gosh,
And
real.
the one that would serve
100%.
as your second family.
Mm,
Yes.
Yeah, especially when you feel alone because you know your friend is always there for you.
speaking English.
And I actually agree with you because uh your friends can also be your your second family, because if your family, like your current family isn't, you have, for example, if you have issues with them,
Yes.
ang una mong tatakbuhan is of course
Your
your
friends.
friends.
That's so
Yes.
cute.
Wow.
Yeah. That's the same for me, guys. Because I know you guys won't judge me like my family would.
Oh my gosh, that's so
Since nowadays
sweet.
our families are actually very
Busy, yeah, busy.
You're not very
Busy,
present.
yes. Busy
And
with
you
their
know your friend is
lives.
just one call away. If you have a problem, just message them. They'll be
Yeah.
there.
I see you guys like 3 times a week, so I guess.
Girl,
family.
girl, let's not talk about our friendship. How about other friendship?
Other
How can they
friendships.
call their friendship as a family?
They have different dynamics from us, to be honest. We're like a big family who like loves each other somehow, and the others, I could say, could be the same, but not entirely, since
Good answer.
like toxic Filipino families where like you backstab each other
Yes.
despite
Yeah.
being one big group. Yeah.
Mm.
Like you consider different friend groups as like different relatives.
Yeah.
And based on my experience, I have a friend for like more than a decade already, and she's really
See,
like my sister, like the sister I never had, and
Mm.
I'm more grateful that wow that I have
Oh my
more
gosh, don't
sisters
cry.
and brothers.
Oh, you're the bunso pa naman, right?
Yes, the last minor.
I'm still a
Yeah,
minor.
so I consider ang dami kong adet kuya that I
Oh.
know that it's there for me. So, given that we're already near to adulthood, do you find it harder to make friends as you've gotten older? Because I'm sure it's a lot easier to make friends back when you were younger. But how about now?
Personally, yes, I've seen many changes about myself throughout the past few years, especially after the pandemic. I really changed a lot. And I noticed that I grew more socially anxious. And when I'm around like strangers or people that I don't really know like much, I tend to get very like I tend to build my walls so high up that I don't really let anyone in. So that's why I'm very grateful about you guys. I feel very comfortable with you.
I agree. I actually agree because as someone who is introvert, and when I was a kid, I was, somewhat not introvert because I'm very immaculate as a child. And every time that I would encounter a kid my age that time, like, dinademonyo ko sila. And
What a term.
Grabe, grabe.
I'm making kulit onto them. And it's actually fun. But now I'm socially anxious na din because there are a lot of changes and me also. And since that in our society there are a lot of
Society.
Gen Zs are very judgmental.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think since we went to puberty already and we had the pandemic stole a lot from us during our growth as teenagers. And I think that's one factor wherein we grow socially anxious of meeting new people outside our homes or our comfort space because that was like 3 years. We were locked down just for our safety wherein our development just stopped.
Okay, so for me, I'm an extrovert kasi. And it's easy for me to have a conversation with another person very easily. But to consider them as a friend, it's not that easy because when I started to grow up, I realized that not everyone you talk to can be your friend because maybe it's just there to be your acquaintance or just there because they know that they can take advantage of you. And I became more aware of that. And it made me a lot more choosy when it comes to making friends.
Okay, for me, when I was still young, I really didn't have that much friends. Maybe okay, maybe I would say like two friends at least because they always bully me because of how I look. Then I grew up day by day, week by week.
Yes, you're
Yes,
growing
yes, I
every
grew.
day.
Yes, puberty hits me the most because I still have no friends.
So what do you call
So
us?
what are we?
No, wait.
I'm still at high school.
Okay,
Okay, okay.
Wait, I'm completing my timeline. Wait.
Okay, 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 go, go.
Now that I'm in high school, I still have no friends. I have actually three friends, and they're all girls. But the other one
Yes.
left us. Me, Bradley, no us. And then the other one, I don't know. And then the other one is still my friend up until now. And like she's my closest friend till now. And I'm really thankful for her because without her, I won't be the same Kurtz as now. And, oh my gosh. I know that I'm in senior high. I have now like I say six friends.
Wow. Mention, mention, mention.
Mention the friends.
Yes. And those friends of mine, I really am grateful for them.
Oh.
Aww.
Mention the names,
Mention
please.
the names.
They're not here.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
No, they're the one who lifted up me. Like lifted me up. Hey, stop laughing. Lifted me up through my dark days. You know, when I was crying, they're always there. They always make fun of me. Yes, and like they're here right now supporting me because I'm going to the because because I'm going to Australia.
What?
I'm just
Australia.
kidding, but these friends of mine, I really trust them and I really love them with all my heart. And I hope that and and I hope that when we grow up, like 100 years old, we're still alive and we're going to have coffee someday. Thank you, my friends.
So
Yes,
cute.
yes, okay.
And that's all for us. Again,
We are the virtual friend group. Bye bye.